Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome on this Sunday afternoon, first Sunday in October. This month, this year is flying by, y'all. I am so excited. I'm your host, Linda Morgan, here on Jazzabrations and Beyond. Yes, after our 1-year anniversary, we changed our name from Jazzabrations Live to Jazzabrations and Beyond, because I got me a co-host named Torré, who will be here with me in a minute. And we will be talking about everything beyond Jazzabrations as well. So I'm excited. Welcome. Sit back for this 1 hour and please share this live Facebook live feed with others so that it can go to multiple places. As always, I look forward to my friends calling in and saying hello. That number is 323-293-3375. And as we get into this Sunday afternoon here, talking about everything that's going on in the month of October and November, we're going to save the November happenings until Torré gets here and gets on board. But what's happening in October? So many things are happening. Coming up on October the 25th, that is the fourth Thursday of the month. I am so excited to be doing our Jazzabrations down at the LA Athletic Club, downtown LA, 7th and Olive. Last month, September, we honored Ricky Woodard. He was surprised by John Clayton and Steve Tyrell, and they blessed us with a number. So that was super exciting. I was over the moon excited about that. Coming up this month in October, I'm already getting super excited. there is a bassist by the name of Louis Spears. If you don't know Louis Spears, Google the name and you will see who this brother is. It is going to be my pleasure to honor him. I talked to his daughter, so we're excited about making that happen. And also, there's another gentleman named Lou Kabak that is I want to say saxophonist from Hungary that we will be honoring. My partner there, Dave Ross, and I, we are really, really excited to do this work. And I am so excited that I'm able to keep doing this work. Save the dates, y'all. I posted it on Facebook. Save the dates. March the 24th, I believe it was. I got to check my posting. I can't even remember that fast. And I know April the 30th. I would have been doing this work for 10 years, y'all. I'm going to celebrate big, go big, as all my friends are telling me. 10th anniversary celebration gala award show. So save those dates. It's the 4th Sunday in March. I will be doing an all women's event because March is Women's Appreciation Month. And then April is Jazz Appreciation Month, and it will be all men. So we will have 2 galas back to back for our 10th year of honoring. So stay tuned. I've posted it on several Facebook pages. Go on there. Let me know that you want to be a part. And then you know me. I'm going to make it happen. So as always, it has always been my pleasure to recognize and honor jazz and blues legends who some in their own rights have gotten major acclaim and some who have not. That's what's the beauty of mixing it up. Some are famous worldwide and some are local heroes that only Californians know about. So in doing the work in these past 9 years, we've honored 142 jazz and blues legends. And yes, I call them legends because legendary. If you have been doing this work in this business for 25 years, doggone it, somebody needs to recognize your efforts. And so we started out with a benchmark of being 70. And then as they started passing on, I lowered that age to 65 and then with 25 years or more, which is obtainable by most standards with young cats because they've been doing it and doing this business for 25 years or more. So as things change, as times change, properties change, everything's changing. So with that, I'm looking forward to celebrating our final 10th year of honoring jazz and blues so I can go and sit myself down somewhere, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. After 10 years of doing some incredible honorings, we're going to have 2 of the biggest galas on the West Coast. So stay tuned. I am calling all favors. I'm pulling out all the stops from all my friends who I've never asked you for anything, but I've always given to you. Stay tuned because I'm going to ask you for something. So I'm putting it out there up front right now so you can get ready for it. We're going to have an amazing 2 galas, and these are going to be off-the-chain galas, over-the-top entertainment. And so I just want it to be the best celebration that I have ever put on in 10 years. So stay tuned for that. On this Sunday afternoon, it's the first Sunday. I'm donned in all my white. Yes, first Sunday communion service, which I didn't do this morning, y'all, because I was busy. Confession. But as always, we're here on the first and third Sundays of the month. And I'm just going to impromptu co-host. I don't care about this camera and all that. Come on, jump on over in here. And so we can get started. I ain't taking a break for you to get on here or nothing. You just going to come on and pop on.
That's
My
right.
co-host
Life
is here. Torré Brannon.
All right.
Welcome.
How are you?
I know you're so busy because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
November happenings with I've Known Rivers Festival. Everything is coming up. We got scholarship information from the Tuskegee Airmen and all that. So we got a lot going on. And so I'm just excited to have a co-host that I don't have to take this ride by myself every Sunday.
Right. Good
So,
to see everybody.
how you been? I know you've been so busy. You wasn't here to make it last month.
I was putting out a fire when I was today. Let me just put it like that. I was putting out some fires.
Absolutely.
And there's still some smoldering smoke.
Got it.
That has to be dealt with.
We'll put some little ashes on it, on that smoldering.
So let me breathe. Sink into the room.
Well, welcome.
I'll just say this. Black men have to start demanding their respect and fair treatment. Now, black women, of course, but black men need to start demanding their respect from this society.
Correct.
Okay.
There's a lot going on. That's a deep topic right there. You can put a pin on that one and put a balloon to it.
That's right.
Because it is so much. I mean, if we just think about all the stuff that's going on that's being politicized, I don't even like to talk about politics because it just makes my head hurt.
Yeah.
But Lordy have mercy, what just happened to America is a travesty.
Yeah, well, the question of culture, that's my little section, right? And that culturally and politically goes back many generations in this country. It's not anything new for people who are in power to do anything and everything necessary by any means necessary to hold on to that power.
Correct.
If we understand that concept, that these are people who are in power. Trump is a person who is upholding a tradition.
Name,
Okay, Agent Orange.
Yes.
Is a person who is upholding a tradition, a long-held tradition in this country of, I'm going to keep my power. You're not going to get it. You're not going to throw me off. I'm going to win, no matter what it takes. No matter who I have to degrade, dehumanize, by whatever means necessary, I'm going to hold on to my power. Right? But on the flip side, you have people who are under the illusion that they're being supported by that person, by that agent. And, as an article I wrote, but that I can't really, recall fully here on the air, but it has something to do with roaches and the fact that roaches have been able to survive because of their makeup, their character.
Correct.
For 3 million years.
That is so true. You can't kill them. And once they start multiplying in your house, Lord Jesus, you can't get rid of them.
Right. So, you just have to understand the nature of certain people and understand that this is a systemic issue. It's not something that's only driven by personality. It's systemic. And to keep the system intact, there are certain types of people who come along who have to push a certain perspective. And that's what's going on right now.
And you know what? Something interesting. My mentor, George Frazier, sent out a email and a video on a TED Talk about trust and how technology is changing the way that the trust level has been in our culture and our society for years. And if I could pull, I don't know if we could put TED Talks up on a screen or whatever, but she talked about how institutional trust has now been disrupted by technology, and how transparency is going to help us to get to a level of trust that we've never seen. For example, she gave examples of banking trust. We trust the bank with our money. That's a level of trust that we've just given for years, and it's just been there. And she compared that to Bitcoin. Now you got this one anonymous person who has created this system where they're going to be transacting millions and billions of dollars, and nobody knows who he is, but they're trusting that he is going to do what's right.
It's like the cloud system that you have in cyberspace.
Absolutely.
Where you take your photos, like these valued photos, like of your grandmother and your family, and they say, well, put it in the cloud. I'm like, what's the cloud? Like, where is that? And can I see it? Like, can I touch it? And it's like, it's real, but it's not real. And like, it's there because some people have used it, but you've never seen it. How do you trust something that you?
And it's technology.
Yeah.
The technology disruptors is going to put us somewhere totally. And I think we're going to get to a place around this whole elephant in the room of sexual abuse. Somebody's going to create something that's going to make us trust and believe when people say that they have been violated. I'm putting it in the universe. My spirit is telling me that it is going to morph into. She gave examples of how there is a car service in Europe called Blah Blah Car. 19 million people use this service. 126 million people, she said, per month.
Wow.
And the car service is you getting in the car and driving across Europe with somebody you don't know, and blah, blah, blah means how much communication do you want to have in this car. If you do, I just want blah, that means when you get in the car, you can't talk to me because I said blah. Or they match you up with people who are going to be talkative or not talkative. Wow. Can you imagine that level of disruption in Uber? Even with Uber, if I could choose, okay, I don't want the driver talking to me. I don't want the passengers talking to me.
Right.
I just want to get in the car and get from A to B.
Right.
Or no, I do want you to talk to me, and I do want the passengers to be able to communicate with me. Brings on a whole nother level of trust.
Trust, you're right. It also has something to do with control, And, I mean, if I can't decide whether or not I want to have a conversation with you when I meet you, something's wrong.
Right.
If I want to talk, I'll talk. If I don't want to talk, then I won't talk. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine.
Correct.
I'll read my book or look out the window or whatever I'm going to do. But to try to have that kind of control. But the flip side of that is that there's a movie by Michael Moore, the great documentarian. His newest film is called Fahrenheit 911. I forget what it is, Fahrenheit 911 or something like that. And he shows a comparison between what happened during Hitler's time in Europe and what's happening right now in America, under this administration. And the parallels are astounding. And the people,
history
the masses
repeats
of people,
itself.
Yeah, the masses of people who stand to lose are acting the same way that those people in Germany acted. They thought that they had one thing, and when all the smoke cleared, they found themselves, in prison and jail and concentration camps, or perished off of this planet. So it's scary how we haven't progressed in terms of our thinking, our critical thinking. So
it's a lot. We'll be right back, y'all. We got to take a break because my head is swarming with this conversation. I got to get me some water to calm down. We'll be right back here with Jazzabrations and Beyond. I'm your host, Linda Morgan.
And I'm your co-host, Torré, Brannon Reese.
All righty. We'll see you in a minute. In a sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my room, while your loving attitude lights up a flame that lights the gloom on the wings of every kiss. Drifts a melody so soft and sweet in this sentimental bliss. You make my paradise so complete. Rose petals seem to fall, it's all like a dream to call you mine. Ooh, my heart's a lighter thing since you made this night a thing divine. In a sentimental mood, I'm within a world so heavenly, and I never dreamt that you'd be loving sentimental
dreamt that you'd be loving sentimental me. Loving sentimental me.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Jazzabrations and Beyond. I'm your host, Linda Morgan, and my co-host,
Torré, Brannon,
is here, y'all. And we just had to take a quick break because we got into that heated topic of politics, which I hate. I'm going to not talk about politics because our next show, coming up on the third Sunday, we do have some hot topic that we will be discussing on the show, talking about Prop 10. So be ready to call in with your questions and answers and needs around Prop 10. We will put a pin in that one right there, and we're going to go on to something else. Because we got a lot of work to do this month and next month. What's going on with the... Torré, you could put up the... LaRon, you could put up the I've Known Rivers Festival flyer. We got coming up. Right there, y'all.
Oh, yes.
The dates are November the 17th and the 18th.
With a reception on the 16th at USC School of Social Work. And the theme is Here I Stand, which is after a book and a movie on the life of the legendary Paul Robeson, who I consider one of the greatest human beings who ever walked this planet. A multi-genius who was proficient in over 17 languages, who was a orator, who was a scholar, who was a lawyer, who was a singer, an actor, an activist. The man just seemed to have no weaknesses. Yet he was beloved and embraced by this country until he began to speak out on social issues. But anyway, the event, thank you for allowing me to announce it.
Oh, yeah. Now this is what this is for.
It's the 7th annual I've Known Rivers Film Festival of Arts, Culture, and Education. The reception, again, the opening reception is at USC School of Social Work on the 16th, which is that Friday. It's 7 o'clock. Great music, great food. We're going to honor a group of guys that I sing with called Street Corner Renaissance. Going to honor Dr. Ernestine Thomas Robertson, who's the president of the Lusaka Sister Committee here in L.A. and does a lot of great work in Africa and has a lot of great work, legacy work here in L.A. And then we're waiting on word on a couple more people that I can't mention because they haven't actually confirmed, but I expect them to. But at any rate, that weekend, Saturday, we're going to start off with a mini conference that I call the Root Conference. The theme is the soul of black folk, after one of my heroes, W.E.B. Du Bois, whose book in 1903 kind of codified who we were as African people in this country. That conference will include various workshops and seminars on a variety of different topics. I was hoping you would speak that weekend. And then after that, films will screen in about 5 different locations in Leimert Park. We're going to show a lot of great films, original shorts and documentaries and feature films and interviews, etc. And then that night we end up with a couple of different concerts and stuff. And so it's going to be a great weekend. One of the concerts will be celebrating the 300-year anniversary of New Orleans, my hometown. So we're going to Mardi Gras, we're going to party, we're going second line. You know?
Oh, yes. Get ready for that.
Yeah.
And you can get your tickets if you go to...
Yeah, it's on that flyer.
On the flyer, it's familyinc.org.
Right.
FAM.
FAMLI.
.org.
Yeah, Eventbrite, can go on there and punch up I've Known Rivers. And the phone number's there, the email address. So call us. We're looking for vendors continuously, sponsors, entertainers, speakers, supporters, etc. And you see the prices there, $7.25 and $75.
Yes, so hit us up. Look, we want to make this an amazing 7th year for the I've Known Rivers Festival. Because if we don't support our own events, who's going to support them? I'm a big, I don't even know what the word is for it.
Bigger.
Yeah. Be about it.
That's right.
Do it, say it, put it out there, and do it. Do the work, put the work behind it, and make it happen.
And what I didn't say is it's not just an event to have an event. It supports the work of Family Organization, which is 26 years old this year, and which houses the See a Man, Be a Man Mastery Program, the Princess to Queen program, the festival itself, and the other projects that we do throughout the year to uplift humanity. And so there's a means to an end.
That's right. It's a party with a purpose.
Party with a purpose, you know, and it's going to be a great time. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to meet a lot of nice, beautiful people. It's going to be happening. So,
because Torré, what the party did say is that he does work daily out at Locke High.
At Locke High School, right? Mm-hmm.
He has a program out there that he's been out there now for 7 years.
5.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
feels like 7.
Yeah. With a great graduation rate for our young black men.
100%.
100% graduation rate.
Right.
And y'all know, Lord, y'all know I'm dealing with 17-year-old Aaron Morgan every chance I get to talk about 17-year-old Aaron Morgan.
Yeah.
And the trials and the things that I go through with him. Every program is important.
Yeah, you should bring him up one day.
Oh, my Lord, I need to.
12 o'clock, 12 noon, bring him
12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I got to get him out of school. That means I got to get him out of have his school and just have him to come over there. But he's in a great program, too, which those are the brothers that's coming on next week, D'Artagnan and Pastor Saul, so at the Social Justice Learning Institute. Aaron has been such a little leader with them that, you know, he just came back from Big Bear. He went there with the YMCA last weekend. And so, you know, every day it seems like something is happening with this young man. He's growing beyond my comprehension as a single mom. My hat to go off to all you single moms. If you're doing it, my hat to go off to you. I'm just a single mom housing him. He does have a dad who's, you know, present in his life, but they're going through their challenges right now. So I'm for all intents and purposes, I'm raising them.
Right. Well, you know, and
it's painful.
It's not unusual. In our tradition, you're not supposed to raise him by yourself.
Right.
He's not just yours.
Right.
He belongs to the community, to the village, and we do have a village. As much as people like to talk, you know, negative about what's going on with black people, we do have a village. We do have people who care. We do have people who are active, and there are people that can be in his life that can help balance what's going on. We've been under a cultural system that's not really in alignment with our spiritual and cultural and even political traditions. So we're in constant conflict to find self, you know, all of us, you know. So he's not alone in that sojourn that he's going through. But, you know, I just got off the internet emailing with a young single parent up in, you know, the northern part of the country. And now I'm trying to put some people around them because they can't find programs for their children. And we need to have programs in every city. Everywhere. Because it's so important. Yeah. It takes a village in raising these young men when they get to a certain age. You know, they get to a certain time period where mothers, although you want to be a smotherer, you must let go. And I'm learning this myself. I have resounded to let go. If this boy says I need to go and be with my friends, go be with your friends, because I'm not going to argue and try to fight with you about being with your friends. Or, you know, he's a great kid, so he ain't hanging out. And, you know, there's so much going on in these streets. You worry about so many different things. People getting killed all over where he goes to school. You know, so my mind is always churning, thinking, you know, am I doing the right thing? How am I doing is the best thing? So our children have a choice. At a certain age, they're going to make choices whether we like it or not. We've already made decisions for them, and they make choices within the context of the decisions we make for them. The decision I made with all 4 of my daughters is that if you want to remain safe, bring your potential boyfriends to meet me. Right. All right? If you skirt around that, you might find yourself in a world of trouble. You might get in trouble anyway, but if you've come through me or brought them through me, now I'm involved. They know you have a father involved, right? Correct. And they have to make that decision that, okay, like your son, he has to say, okay, my mom told me this. What am I going to do? Right? Now it's on him. Correct. And you have to just pray through it and know that you've done the right thing. and hopefully he'll make the right decisions.
And that's what I'm telling them, because I know they at school they're telling he'll be 18 in 3 months now, so he could sign whatever he want to sign, do whatever he want to do at 18, sign and and I'm telling them that may very well be, but who gonna pay for this college? Mm-hmm. Are y'all having him sign some paperwork that I'm going to be responsible for? That ain't happening. So it's just a constant. It's something that always going on that I'm just like, okay, he may be turning 18, but unless he's at 18 a millionaire and going to be able to pay for his college, you don't make no decisions about my financial information without telling me.
Telling you.
And without going through me or without considering that I'm the one who's making the rules around here.
Yeah.
So me and his little teachers and counselors, we're on this page right here. So I plugged into his school email. I said, because I need to see what y'all are sending him. And lo and behold, there was stuff in there that I'm just like, I'm so involved and I didn't know all this was going on. Y'all emailing him on this little school email, which I don't have no access to. And then you asking him stuff about me. That ain't gonna happen. You need to make sure that I'm aware of whatever you want to find out.
And see, that happens often.
Yes.
Oftentimes, parents are disengaged. They're not like you, so things can just happen. We have situations at Lock High that you wouldn't believe, and the parents are just either apathetic or too busy or too inundated with their own problems. And so you really need to connect with people who are, who care about your child, and I'm not just saying to you, but just in general. In general. Yeah.
And this is his last year. This is 12th grade. This is it. I'm done after this. I mean, I got a college year.
No, you're not.
I know I got college going on too, but this,
Yeah.
And at some point he'll be, look, lady, I don't got to answer to nothing you say. I'm 18, I'm grown, whatever. Yeah. But hopefully he will continue to listen. But if he don't, Lord and Jesus, y'all pray for me.
I think he's going to be all right. You have a very, very intelligent young man on your hands who you don't always agree with.
Oh, Jesus, I know it. So this hour is moving along so fast, and you guys, we're going to be right back. We will be right back with you. We're going to take another break because every time I talk about something, my head starts hurting. So I need to take some water in and to relax. We'll be right back. I'm Linda Morgan. Relax. And my host, Torré. So, yeah. You know what? When we come back, we need to get some Street Corner Renaissance music to put in.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Be right back with you here on Jazzabrations and Beyond.
All right.
Welcome back. I'm your host on Jazzabrations and Beyond today with my co-host,
Peace,
Torré. And yes, I had to get off of that little rant about my son. I love him to death. Aaron Morgan, you know I love you to death, son. And you are awesome. And mommy is learning a lot from you as I go through this road of life. And you know, it was an interesting conversation that I had with a girlfriend. And I told her, I said, I will admonish any woman past 40 trying to have a kid. Because when you are having a kid past 40, you are putting that kid at a disadvantage.
Well, you have to go talk to Janet Jackson.
I don't even want to talk about that.
She was 50, I think.
Yeah, but still, when she turns 60, that child
well,
gonna
she
be
got
10.
a lot of money.
Yeah, so she gonna have a little housewife or maid or something running after her kid. I'm talking about actually
talking about the ordinary people,
right? Taking care of a kid, because at 57, I'm dealing with a 17-year-old. I'm in 3 years before 60, so I understand. I'm starting to understand. I didn't at first. I'm starting to understand that my physical limitations, mentally, physically, cannot keep up with a 17-year-old. And so I have to just relax, release, and breathe sometimes when I'm dealing with him. And Aaron, it's not you. It's mommy. Mommy is 57. If I had been 47 and you 17, think about that. The age difference. I would have a lot more energy to do a lot of more things and a lot more patience, because the older we get, our patience goes with us. I don't know who's calling me, but I can't answer you right now.
Can I say something about age? I'm hoping I say it in a way that people can understand. You're familiar with the boxer George Foreman?
Yes.
So you know that he was 24 years old when he fought Muhammad Ali, and he lost in Zaire, in Africa. And he lost because even though he was physically stronger, and he could like hit you and knock you out of the ring, and because he had basically knocked out everybody he had fought before he encountered Ali. But Ali was older, and he wasn't able to move around the ring as he did when he was 20 and 21 and 22. But yet he had gained in wisdom. So he did what was called a rope-a-dope.
Right.
And he let Foreman punch himself out. Now, Foreman, lost, and his whole world was upended. And he comes back, like he retires basically after a couple more fights. He retired. And then he came back 10 years later, and he was in his 40s. And people were like, "Are you crazy? Like, why? You can't box at 40-something years old, not successfully, right?" I mean, that's really the general rule. But to make a long story short, the man actually regained the title. He was wiser. He didn't waste his energy anymore. He didn't get angry with people. I mean, George would be in the ring smiling at you. It's just using your years in a way that you use more of your mental capabilities and not necessarily your physical stuff to navigate your way through life and through situations, so that in his later years, George would never go back to the you go back to the corner.
The rope-a-dope.
When he would go back, I don't know if you guys noticed, if you look at any of those fights, he would never sit down. Because he said, if I sit down, I might not get back up. And it's just an example of how you can, you have to make adjustments as, you change your diet, maybe you get into yoga, you do something different with your life.
And
I 20 years younger.
I used to walk. Last year, I was a walker. I walked every day, early morning. I walked. I had the energy. So there is something to your physical being going along with your mental state. Yeah. So that is one thing that I am going to get back to, because when my thighs start talking and kissing, right, I get angry, and I'm angry at the world and don't know why. But
and I was a world-class athlete all of my life, and I can't run and walk like I used to as much as I used to. So now I get on the bike,
right,
or I go. I would love to do more swimming than I do now, which doesn't hurt my knees. So it's making adjustments. That is
so true. So I know now, and I just publicly announced that yes, when my thighs start touching, I get angry. And it makes
touching
me mad.
Of the thighs.
And it does. And people can't even understand what are you talking about? Women's thighs been touching all their life. No, they haven't. Mine have not. And then when they do, they make me have issues.
We get excited when women talk about their thighs.
So I have in-studio guests, as you can tell, bantering back and forth.
And they're laughing a lot right now.
So that's one thing that really I got to get control over, because I know it makes me angry, and then I'm going in there and I'm dealing with this 17-year-old. So I'm going to relax on that, and I'm going to do better, because I got so much work to do. We got so many things to get accomplished. I just started a partnership. I've been in a partnership with Power Network in Los Angeles, which is a team of 5 of us. Barbara Lindsay is on that team. Tanaya Luckett. Hey, Tanaya. Tracy Brown and Anthony Penn. Well, we just brought on a 5th partner named Daoud. Hey, Daoud Thompson. Sharp, super sharp brother who works in the automotive industry. He's now have a company called Process Intel, where he is literally coming up with ways for automotive manufacturers to deal with the data that they get in manufacturing cars. Where does that data go? How do they handle it? What is the output of it? How are they stopping the cars from having defects and all of that? So he's now come on board with us, and I posted a picture on Facebook. It's up to about 102 people liking it and commenting about it, because I said this team is about to rock. City Club LA, get ready. And we are looking to do work with young individuals. So you are instrumental. Joycelyn is instrumental. A pool of young people that we can pull into STEM, into technology, and bring them around us and create events at the City Club so that they can come and be a part of these educational opportunities in this technology age. Because it's not going away. It's getting farther and farther from us. So we got to be the ones who create the opportunities to bring them into these settings, the spaces, so that they can get it. So look out for that, you guys. It's going to be exciting. We're going to be bringing in speakers and mentors. Another, member from the City Club. She has a program out at Google, and she created a nonprofit because her 16-year-old needed an outlet. So she created a whole STEM nonprofit and bringing in millionaires and billionaires into Google. Google gave her a space, and now she's running a program. So we're going to leverage that with her, and to be able to bring those young people out and to get them involved in STEM. So definitely I want to encourage, we'll reach out to your young man. Yeah. SJL Live to young men, and we're going to make it happen.
Well, as an educator, a longtime educator, I find it critically important that we engage young people in what's going on beyond their immediate environment. If that's a conference they can attend, if it's a trip that we can take them on, even inside this context of this city, we have to expose them to as much as possible so that their minds expand.
Right.
So we do as much as we can to make sure that they see beyond the immediate environment.
And that's what I love about SJLI. So I definitely need to connect you. D'Artagnan, Scorza, if you're watching this video, you and this brother here, y'all need to connect. And I've been saying this now for a month or two. So I'm going to make that happen on a phone call before you get here next week, because he may not be here. We just thought about it. We just talked about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make that happen.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I fought for Aaron to stay in this program, because they have taken him to places and done things with him I wouldn't have never been able to do.
Well,
South Africa.
That's key.
You know, up to Camp Whittle.
Well,
up to Big Bear, all these different places, all the colleges around California. So that's what has been so instrumental in keeping him focused.
Well, I met a father and a mother and a daughter, and the young lady, who's probably about maybe 17 or 18, lives in Germany. I was able to relate to her because I lived in Germany when I was a youngster. In fact, we lived in the same city, Kaiserslautern, Germany. So when I engaged in conversation with her, she was like, right. But thank God for my mother for exposing me to other worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was always bringing us to restaurants and saying, look, this is how you eat when you're at a restaurant. This is what fork you use here.
Ooh, Lordy.
You know, she was always consciously trying to make sure that we were cultured.
Right.
That we understood that there was a world beyond the hood, the
That's
block.
right.
And even if it was some going downtown somewhere, or it didn't have to necessarily be out of the country, but it was always something new for us to do. She was on top of that kind of stuff. And she made sure that we always read books. Reading books was like breathing.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the challenges we have today, is that they're using these so much that they're not cracking the pages of a book.
Correct.
And what we do with our kids at the program is we'll tell them, how many of you guys have picked up any of those books over there? They're like, oh, they don't even think about it. Then we'll walk over to the bookshelf and pick out a $100 bill out of one of the books. Now, see, if you would have picked up this book, you would have had $100.
Right.
Then they go running over to the books. I'm saying, no, that ain't how it works.
No.
But we have to do a better job, and we, meaning myself, everybody, we have to do a better job of exposing young people to worlds beyond
them.
That they live in.
And that's one of the things I told Mr. Aaron. I said, you got this was last month. Mm-hmm. I said, you got 4 months before you're 18. Mm-hmm. You're going to give me one day out of the week where you're going to come up to the city club and do your homework from up in the city club. Mm-hmm. You'll get an office up there. You'll do your homework, and then we'll spend an hour networking. Mm-hmm. I said, because if I don't give you this experience that I'm paying for, then you're never going to have it. Mm-hmm. And you might as well get it now before you turn 18, and you only got 4 months, so that you can continue to take that through.
Just bring him up there. I hope you're not saying all that to him. Like, he's probably like, see, when they get to be about 14 and 15, they start zoning your voice out. It's like, okay, that's mama.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, I've been hearing that all my life. Like, calm down. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so just say.
I got a young man that I want you to meet.
Okay,
he's
I
20
need some
years
help,
old.
y'all.
I'm here with you. I'm your co-host, right? He's 20 years old.
You gonna come?
I want to bring on this young man. I'd like to bring him here.
Bring him to the show, yeah.
To the show. He's 20 years old. He started at the age of 14 selling chips and cookies and stuff like that in school, to the point where he hired 5 students at the school to sell for him. That led to him getting a job at this place. I forget the name of the place that dealt with technology. And he learned the telephone technology. Now he has his own telephone repair business. He has his own Bitcoin investment business. He has about 3 or 4 interlocking businesses at the age of 20. Makes his own money, bought his own car, pays his own rent. Boom, at 20 years old. I wasn't thinking like that at 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? Lord. So they get it, right? If you put the right stuff in front of them and realize that at a certain point you got to let them fly, You got to let them fly alone.
Jesus, help me. Take the wheel, please. I'm about ready to let the wheel go.
Y'all be
like that.
Y'all better start wearing Jesus out. Y'all make Jesus tired. Call on Moses or Abraham. I'm just joking.
I know it. It's just amazing how much you
just think if you had about 5 more kids.
I would never. Never, ever.
No, I'm saying, if you had 5 more kids, like, what would you do, right?
Somebody be crazy.
You got one.
Once I had my daughter.
You have the daughter.
She's 27. She'll be 28 next month.
So you only got one, right?
One of each is enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what people are thinking about, but anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
My grandmother had 12.
And another
6
story.
boys and 6 girls.
Really?
Ooh, we don't even want to hear that.
Wow, his grandfather had 36. That's a crazy thing.
Like, how did you have 36 kids?
Wow.
He must have had, like, concubines.
Man, something. But anyway, y'all, we are here. We're just chopping it up.
We riffing.
It's so much that's going on.
You know what I need to mention, sister?
Yes.
Because you're all about the music and everything. Randy Weston
Yes.
passed.
I know.
And I don't know.
I posted it.
Did you post it? But
Yeah.
did we talk about it on
No, I actually have a his homegoing celebration that they had in New York.
In New York, yeah. I saw your post. And did you see my post? I
Yes.
posted. Yeah, I met him and took a photo with him, and he was down in New Orleans. And what I want to say about that man is that, first of all, he had a very illustrious career. He played with everybody that you can name, from Thelonious Monk to whomever you want to name. And then his mission, I know, was to make sure that there was a clear connection between the music of Africa and the music in America. you
Right.
know, and he did that very well. And it would just be a shame if not only young people, because, you know, I know a lot of older people who really don't know about him or know his music, but he provided a very important perspective on the music. And I think it's important that we mention his name. And he was a great pianist, just a fantastic mentor, educator. And he lived to be 92 years old.
And was still playing.
Was still playing. I mean, I had just seen him maybe a few months before he passed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I had wanted, I was somewhere, or he was somewhere that I was trying to meet him. I don't know if it was something that he came out here. I believe it may even have been Watts Jazz Festival one year that he came out there. And I was too shy to go over and say something at that point. But now, when I'm in a room with Jazz, I'm going up to them and I'm telling them, hey, how are you? Who I am, what I do.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure. And so, like I said, do you know Louis Spears, bassist?
Yes, Louis Spears.
I'm
It's in my
honoring
photo.
Louis Spears
Okay.
on the 25th.
Okay.
If you back in town, hopefully
He and
you're
his
there.
brother Maurice Spears.
Yes,
Yeah.
his brother Maurice. And I just looked up his bio, and George Bohannon,
George Bohannon. Yeah.
Maurice Spears, Louis Spears, and a couple other guys had a group called Bone Swore Rock. Bone Swore.
Bone Swore.
Bones. Yeah,
Right.
Bone Swore.
Right.
And I reached out to George and I said, George, I'm honoring Louis Spears on the 25th. Can you bring these, is all these cats still alive? Can you bring them to the event? And he was just saying that Maurice just left and moved out of L.A. to back east somewhere. I said, so I talked to his daughter, Rafiki. And this morning, and I told her, I said, if you can get your uncle to come back for that night while we honor your dad, that would be awesome.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah,
That's
that's going to be on the 25th.
Let's mention that there's a fantastic documentary. There's many on Netflix. But me and my family, we just sat down and looked at it about 3 times. A documentary on the life of Quincy Jones.
Yes.
And just to see how groundbreaking he was, or he is, as not only a musician, but as a composer, an arranger, and just a mentor to so many. He really helped to shape the cultural scene in America, the cultural landscape. And he broke through so many barriers of people pigeonholing you and saying, well, you're just a jazz musician, or you're just a blues musician, or whatever. He defied categorization, which is something that musically Ray Charles, and many others did. And so it's a Netflix documentary. I forget the name of it. I think it may be called Q or something like that. But it's on the life of Quincy Jones.
Right.
And I think everybody should see that documentary. We're going to screen one on the life of Lee Morgan at the film festival.
I was a part of that. That whole. Is it Lee Morgan?
Yeah, they called him Morgan.
Oh no, this was what's the other Morgan? Sax player that went to jail in San Francisco. All that.
Oh, was that not Lee Morgan?
No.
Wait a minute, because Kathy did
Yeah.
a voiceover for on that one. My daughter did a voiceover on
The Lee Morgan one?
not more, but Morgan. What's his name?
It's another Morgan. Anyway, because
Okay,
I was
that's
instrumental in bringing that filmmaker to. She did a screening, and I brought out a lot of the legends to see this Morgan. I'll look it up and remember who it was, but this has been about 2 or 3 years ago. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we got so many legend. And speaking of Quincy Jones, the video with him and Tevin Campbell I posted that on my Facebook.
No tomorrow will bring.
There are so many different legends that's in there, and I noticed Buddy Collette,
Yes.
Les McCann,
Yeah.
and then so I posted it and I said, "Hey y'all, I see all these familiar faces. Who's in here?" Teddy Edwards' son chimed in, and said, "Oh, that's my dad, Teddy Edwards, over in the turquoise shirt, and there's a Royal Marshal over here.
Well, you know when Quincy
James Moody.
When Quincy called you, you came. In this documentary, there's a part where he was putting together a program for the opening of the African American Museum in Washington, and they were asking him, well, I want you to call Oprah, Will Smith, John Legend, well, and all of them, all of them. If Quincy calls you, you're going to show up.
Oh, yes.
So there's no one higher in music, no one alive right now higher in music and more esteemed in music than Quincy Jones.
Absolutely. Now, I believe Quincy and what's the other cat?
Who? Duke Ellington?
No.
Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Dizzy Gillespie,
No,
Charlie
he's
Parker.
Still alive.
Still alive? And are they elder?
Yes, and the Regalettes is about to honor him.
Ray Charles?
No.
He's not still alive. Yeah, well, whoever it is,
Yes.
Yeah, Quincy has touched down. They showed his influence on the career of Michael Jackson. Michael would not have had that career had it not been for Quincy Jones and his arrangements and production values,
Why can't I
etc.
think of Lordy? Huh?
You guys still trying to think of that name, but
Frank Morgan.
I said Frank.
Frank Morgan. The life of Frank Morgan.
Frank Morgan. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He was a saxophonist who got caught up in drugs and was in San Francisco prison and all that. But yes. So anyway, I can't even remember the name of who it is that they're doing a celebration and honoring this year. And it may be Quincy, but I'm thinking it was somebody else.
Well, let me mention somebody who probably wouldn't be mentioned. They called him Professor Longhair. They called him Professor Longhair and called him Professor. He's a great New Orleans piano player. Great New Orleans piano player who, to me, there's nobody who ever played the piano better than him. Professor Longhair, Roland Byrd, New Orleans musician. He signed to Atlantic Records back in the 1950s. And he was just the most phenomenal. And there's a song called Big Chief, which is a New Orleans Mardi Gras anthem. And that was his song. That was one of his songs. So check out Professor Longhair. And then check out James Booker. There's a documentary on his life on Netflix, James Booker. So these are, there's a lot of great, great, great musicians who Quincy knows and loves well.
It is Quincy.
Yeah.
That they're honoring on November the 3rd.
Okay.
At their 60th anniversary.
Are you going to be there?
Regalettes, yes I am. I will be in the house.
Okay, I'm going to be with you.
Yes, I will be there. But, wow. 1 hour really goes fast, y'all. We really appreciate you sitting back with us. Please share this video so that it can be appreciated by others who may not have had the time to be online with us this afternoon. I'm your host, Linda Morgan.
I'm your co-host, Torré.
And this is Jazzabrations and Beyond. Until we see you on the third Sunday, take
Peace,
care.
Love, and soul.
All righty.
In a sentimental mood, I can see